International break is over, right? And basically, if you look at the whole fixture, it was amazing, right? The 48 teams have been able to sum up, and then we are having the World Cup proper, right? In months to come, right? So basically, we've seen 10 African countries that are coming for the World Cup, and our full support are with them. But basically, let's look exactly at some of these groups and how these African teams have been able to affect themselves in this World Cup competition. So first on my list, I have is Tunisia, right? In Tunisia's group. Now, the reason I'm making this video is due to I think the performance of these African countries in the preseason, that is in the international break. You understand? Because we've literally seen a lot of African countries that didn't perform very well. I mean, they come World Cup and literally the performance before the World Cup is poor. So what are the chances? What are the confidence level that we have in them? You understand? So basically, if you look at that, I think group F, I'll be waiting. You see Tunisia for Tunisia group, they have Netherlands, they have Japan, and they have Sweden to contend with in that group. You understand? So if you like two will qualify for that group, or now one will qualify for that group. I don't really know, but I'll go check on later. So we have Netherlands, Japan, Switzerland, and Tunisia in that group. You understand? So these are the teams that Tunisia is going to be facing. Then again, we have Cape Verde, which is the second African country to come. Now in their group, I think Group H, they will have to face Spain, they have to face Saudi Arabia, and they have to face Uruguay too as well, right? So if you look at this group, Cape Verde, now suppose this and tell me who will qualify. So basically, as well, if you look at Algeria, the third African country, on their group they have Argentina, they have Austria, and I think is it Bolivia, Jordan, right? Jordan. So Algeria, Argentina, Austria, and Algeria in the same group, right? Let's see how that goes. Ghana, that is the fourth one. Ghana is having England, Croatia, and Panama on the same group, right? So that one, I bring a first thing we will do for the head. The next one we have is hold on, Morocco, right? Morocco, we have Morocco here as well. Morocco is having Brazil, Haiti, and Scotland in their group, right? The next is South Africa. South Africa is having Mexico, South Korea, and Czech Republic in their group. So the reason can't get it. The next, which is Egypt, they're having Belgium, they're having Iran, and they're having New Zealand in their group. You understand? The next is Senegal. Senegal is having France, they're having Iraq, and they're having Norway in that group. Or this group, so now do or die. And the last but not the least, we're having I think DR Congo. DR Congo is having Portugal, Ecuador, and Uzbekistan in that group. Right. So basically, if you look at these groups and how the African teams have been able to find themselves in this group, there is nothing like partial or nothing like say this one before this one. Of course, you know that European countries are supposed to be merged with these African countries. That is going to mix them. Some for South Africa, some for Europe, some for Africa. They mix them. Asia. We mix all of them together. So it depends on how they pick and how the marginal game happen. You understand? But let's concentrate on these African teams exactly. What are the confidence level and where do we basically feel and expect them to? I mean their maximum limit in this competition. You understand? Because if you look recently how they played in the international friendly, yes, you're gonna observe how poor they perform. You understand? I'm talking about the likes of Ghana, South Africa, and all the rest. Right? So basically, they've not actually been very, very good. Recently, Ghana started their coach. I think after they lost the game, their last game in the international friendly, they lost the game. So basically, what are the confidence level that we have in these teams that are coming for the World Cup? Right? So I mean, it's not a bad thing that the World Cup should come to Africa. You understand? Of course, we have incredible players. You understand? So when you look at it, it's looking very, very bad. Right? I'm not gonna lie, it's looking very, very bad. Because when you have a lot of incredible players in this team, I wouldn't want to call name, but when you have incredible players in a team like Ghana, I want to believe that Ghana can compete for something. right? I want to believe that Ghana can compete for something, but with the recent performance, I do think that with the recent performance, I do think that with the recent performance, I do think that this team has actually really been not good as such. Is there room for a change, right? Apparently, they're in talks with bringing a new coach. I don't know how that is gonna be. It's gonna be a very interesting one seeing a new coach at Ghana. But let's see how it goes. It's gonna be a very difficult one. I'm not looking down on any country to at all. The World Cup is not an easy competition. It's a very difficult competition, not as you all know. The World Cup is not an easy competition, not as you all know. It's a very difficult competition. So when you look at exactly how these African teams has been able to find themselves in this group, how exactly can they meet out, right? We are having a lot of them. Just as you can see, we are having just like you can see, we're having Cape Verde. Cape Verde has Spain. They have to face Saudi Arabia, and they have to face Uruguay. So when you look at how these teams has performed, let's not even talk about their squad depth alone. Let's talk. Let's not even talk about their squad depth alone. Let's talk about how exactly this team have performed before the World Cup. That is the preparation before the World Cup. How this team has performed, right? We've seen this Cape Verde side and a lot of them too. They've been able to at least put out the fight. But is it enough? Can they hold on for 90 minutes? Because the World Cup is not, there's no miracle happening in the World Cup. This is not, the World Cup is not being played at the Bernabeu, right? So what are the chances that these African countries, they can come out with something good? I'm going to be very, very happy if at least, I'm going to be very, very happy if at least one of these African countries at least make it to the quarterfinals or thereabout. It can be possible, you understand? So let's see how it goes. But if you look at the whole thing and how they basically performed before the preparation for this World Cup, trust me, it's not looking it's not looking very, very nice. It's not looking encouraging, right? But let's see how it goes. The World Cup is going to be kicking off in months' time, and we're prepared for that. Got you.